caste system is the most dominant reason for inequality and discrimination in India. The caste system originated in the Varna system of Vedic Aryan society. In the beginning, Varna was an occupation-based flexible social division. In the later Vedic society, the Varna system was expanded into a rigid discriminatory. Gender discrimination refers to health, education, economic and political inequalities between men and women. For example, a girl is not allowed to go to college after finishing her schooling. Similarly, most of the girls are not allowed to select a career of their choice, rather they are forced into marriage. In some families, girls are not allowed to wear modern dresses, while boys in such families often wear modern dresses. The next is religious discrimination. Religious discrimination is unequal treatment of an individual or group based on their beliefs. Religious discrimination has been around for a long time. There have been problems between people of different religions for thousands of years. Our constitutions has provided equality for all irrespective of their caste, religion, language, place of birth. Yet, discriminations are still in practice even in worship places on the basis of the caste, religion, gender and language. Our great social thinkers have been fighting against such discriminations and inequalities. Socio-economic inequality with respect to rich or poor, developed or underdeveloped. In the socio-economic field, the benefits of growth have not been spread evenly. The low-income districts are associated with low industrial development, low agricultural productivity, and low human development. Similarly, the districts with low literacy rate are found to be with lower sex ratio. Let us see the tabular column of 2011 census. Census means the statistical report by the government. The district with high literacy rate is Kanyakumari and the district with the low literacy rate is Dharmaburi. Similarly, sex ratio, number of females per 1000 males. The district with high sex ratio is Nilagiri and the district with the low sex ratio is Dharmaburi. Now let us see about the remedial measures for abolishing inequality and discrimination. First one, wider access to quality basic service like healthcare and education for all. Second, be aware, that is, we should know about the current gender bias. Third one, make women more visible in public life and institutions to eradicate gender disparity, that is difference. Fourth one, be open to learning about other religions. Fifth, promoting community dining in the classroom may help the students to sit together with their friends without any bias of caste, religion or gender. Next, socialize with the people of all types outside home. Last one, effective implementation of laws. Constitution of India and equality. A constitution is a set of rules and regulations guiding the administration of a country. Article 14 of the Constitution of India provides equality before the law or equal protection within the territory of India and prohibits the unreasonable discrimination between persons. Our Constitution says ours is a land of diversity. Therefore, equality has to be ensured for all. Two significant parameters to ensure equality in society are respecting the diversity and ensuring the freedom. The different kinds of freedom are freedom to follow their religion, speak their language, celebrate their festivals, and express their views freely. The Constitution is a legal framework of rules and regulations by which a nation would function. Equality is where untouchability is seen as a crime. In India, as per the Article 17 of the Indian Constitution, untouchability is totally abolished and its any form is forbidden. Even today, different types of discriminations are reported across the country. Women, peasants, that is farmers, tribes, and people from lower social classes are still striving for equality in India. Now let us see some of the achievers of India who came from the poor background. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, pride of the nation. He was born in a Muslim family in Rameshwaram. His family was poor, so he sold newspaper to supplement his family income. He was the 11th President of India. He received Bharat Ratna Award, India's highest civilian honor, in 1997. He has written many books like India 2020, Wings of Fire, Ignited Mind, The Luminous Sparks and the Mission India. He earned the title the Missile Man of India. The next is Mr. Vishwanathan Anand. He was born in Chennai in middle-class family. His mother was a big fan of chess and taught him to play the game when he was 5 years old. Anand has won the World Chess Championship 5 times. He was the first recipient of Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award in 1991 to 1992. He became India's first Grandmaster in 1998. He received the nation's second highest civilian award, Padma Vibhushan, in 2007. Nowadays, women also shine in many fields. Mrs. S. Ilavalagi. She came from a poor family at Yasarpadi, Chennai. Her father is a daily wage earning auto rickshaw driver. She participated in 2008 World Carom Championship at Palais dels Festival, Cannes, France, and bagged her maiden women's title. She participated and won the Indian National Carom Championship. This ability is not an obstacle for achievement. The best example is Mr. Mariyappan Thangavelu. He was born at Salem in Tamil Nadu. His mother raised her children as a single mother, carrying bricks as a laborer. He suffered permanent disability in his right leg. He completed secondary schooling. He says, I didn't see myself as different from others. In 2016, at the Rio Paralympics, he won the gold medal in the men's high jump T42 event with a leap of 1.89 meter.